Hello and welcome to my watch reviews. If you're new to the channel, my name is Mike, and in front of us today is a latest model from Baltany. Now, Baltany are the masters at making vintage or retro-inspired military-themed watches at a price point that I don't think many or anyone else seems to be able to match for the quality that you get. And you know what? I'm going to hit you with the price straight away. Here we are on Baltany's website, and you can see this one is coming in at $148, which is around about 111 UK pounds. There is a voucher up here for $5 off. Believe it's free shipping, but you might get some import taxes in your country depending on where your government has decided to set the level. I think in the UK it's about £130, so this one should come in duty free. You can see here we've got the black dial, which is the one that I'm reviewing. I think it's the better one. There is, however, this sort of a brownie dial, if that is what's going to float your boat. Right, let's get back to the review. Let's start off by looking at that dial. So as you can tell, this is a pilot style of watch, and what I particularly like about these sort of things is that you don't get hour marker saying 1 to 12. We've actually got the hours saying the minute, so 5, 10, 25 and so on and so forth. It does make an interesting contrast to a watch because most people are used to just normal ones. It doesn't make telling the time any more difficult. It's just a feature, and a feature that I particularly like. They have gone for a sort of aged look, so you've got the faux patina, the military-esque type of sword hands they've got there. This is a 60-minute chronograph, and you can see that running away, and the bottom subdial is your running seconds hand, as you can see by the tick. This is a quartz movement. It is solar powered. This is the first solar powered watch I've ever reviewed, and I think it's the first analog solar watch that I've ever had in my possession. I've been quite impressed with it. I like the fact that when the chronograph is running, as you can see here, it's a Seiko Mecha Quartz type of movement. So you're having a sweeping chronograph hand, but you've got the reliability of the timekeeping and all that comes with the reliability of a quartz, I guess. Let's switch the lights out and see what it looks like in the dark. Quick blast of the UV pen, and this is what we're presented with. We've got two colours of lume. It's both super luminova. We've got the green and the blue. I like the contrasting lume, to be quite honest. Let me know what you think in the comments. I like the fact that the second hand is lumed, and so is the chronograph recording hand. However, the chronograph sweep hand, as you can see, is not showing. You can just see the shadow of it sometimes passing over the hands, which is a slight disappointment. But then if you're trying to use the stopwatch in the middle of the night, what exactly are you trying to time? Here you can see the watch with the chronograph stopped, and you can see the hands are lining up nicely with 12. One other thing to mention on the dial, of course, is there's a date at 3 o'clock, and it is possibly the smallest date window I've seen on a watch for some time. It does its function. You can just about read it, and it is in proportion with the dial, I guess. And I'm glad they're not hiding it and having it as a ghost position on a crown or anything like that. But I just have to note that it is a little bit small. The beauty of having a solar powered watch is that as much as it still has a battery inside there, it is also getting charged from the sun or artificial light, which means that the battery in theory will last a lot longer. They have not stated exactly how long, but it means this watch should be maintenance free for many years. So if you're a one watch guy, then this is going to see you for quite some time to come, which is a good thing given the price that this is being sold for also. Case is 316 stainless steel, and you can see it's all brushed. Again, that gives in keeping with the military theme. The beauty of an all brushed watch is you don't get so many scratches on them that are visible, and you certainly don't get fingerprints. The machining on this one has been done to a decent standard. You can kind of see everything as we go around the watch. The lugs are nicely tapered, and that gives for a better fitting on the wrist. And then you get to the other side with the crowns and the pushers, and yeah, they're really nice and tactile, really nicely knurled. and presented well. However, there is a little bit of a niggle I've got with this, which I'm going to show you very shortly when I put the watch in hand, where you can see me operate the chronograph in all of its glory. Turn the watch over, you get my pet peeve, which is a complete sterile caseback. I wish brands would put something on there, maybe that this watch is 100 meters of water resistance, because it doesn't say it anywhere at all. But there you go, that's just my take on it. It's the usual black leather strap on this one from Baltany, or brown if it's the brown dial. You've got a brush clasp there, it says Baltany on it as well. 2 keepers. It's thick, it's sturdy, it's very supple actually as well. So straight out the packet, you'll have no problems with it being comfortable on the wrist. Okay, let's size the watch up. And it is a 39mm case. Thickness, well, that's 12mm thick. The lug to lug is 46mm, and the lug width there is a strap pleasing, it's not 21, no, 20, there we go. And with those dimensions in mind, this is what it looks like on a 7-inch or 18cm wrist. Yes, it is my right arm. I'm left-handed and wear my watches backwards compared to everybody else. And maybe for the review, I should put it on my left arm, but it feels more natural. But there you go. That's what it looks like. You can see that the lugs are sloping down and contouring the wrist very well. Very comfortable, nice looking watch. And here we are with the watch in hand and the ever reflecting light in the background. I've been wearing this watch to death. And I really do enjoy it. I haven't got a solar watch, so I've got no experience with them to really know how it works behind that dial. But I wanted to show you some things all close up. The knurling on these pushers and the crown is really, really nice. The threaded crown here, it is a screw down crown, works very well. And you can see there it's changing the date on one position, changes the time on another. That feels all nice and good. Thing is, and what I like about, what I like and I don't like, I love, like I say, these knurled pushers. But look, the pusher doesn't work. You have to unscrew like that to then get the chronograph working. We can just see it. I'm afraid I've got bad reflection on the hand there. Which, I don't know, I find this a little bit of a hindrance. It's nice aesthetically, but then if you want to actually time something, you would have to unscrew these. And, you know, they're classing it as a pilot's watch, and I can't see a pilot having to do this on the wrist before they wanted to time anything. So is it just for aesthetics? I haven't seen it on a watch before. So, you know, you tell me. It has got some cool features, like, you know, if we stop the movement and leave it for a few moments and then press it again, it will jump. So it's like the lap, if you like, and carry on going where it's going to go. It is a 60-minute chronograph. And then, you know, we can stop it and reset it should we want to. The pushers are nice and firm. They work very well. Like I say, this is just aesthetically pleasing, but not all that practical. Look, if I tighten them up again now, then obviously I can't stop or start it, and that will just run continually now for an hour. If we just have a quick look around, you can see how it looks again, just in real time video. And I do like, you know, the fact that we've got the minute scale around the dial rather than the hours. Okay, I'm going to put it on the microscope now. Obviously, there's not much to see in the back with the movement, but we'll have a good close look at that dial. Thought I may as well show you a little bit of the movement then, at least. So that's what it looks like under the covers. And as you can see, Seiko Epson VS71A solar movement. If you turn your attention just slightly down here, you can just see it ticking there. And I can see something moving in a shadow there as well. These are your coils. It's all very nice and straightforward. If you want to, I know you've got one of these and you want to remove the movement, I may as well quickly show you. You have to be looking down here. It says push, but watch, I have to pull out the crown and then you can see that little bit there. And if I don't know if I can do it on camera, you need to get something sharp in there like the tweezers, and you push, and I am a little bit obscured, but there we go. That's how you'd remove the stem, just in case someone's watching that needs to do that. Right, I'll get the movement out. We'll have a quick look at the dial. So here we are looking at it all close up. Excuse some of the little dust particles, but it was a bit of a struggle getting out of the case. And I'm just going to quickly see there, the changeover. So that little sub-second hand is ever so slightly off the index there. Now, is that a problem? Again, we're at really high magnification. I don't think you'd necessarily see that, but I just have to point it out at the same time. We're looking at the printing as always, seeing what that looks like. It looks pretty good. I'm going to go into talk about this in a moment, this sort of discoloration, for want of a better word. But for now, like I say, we'll just concentrate on looking at all of that, seeing what we think. I think it looks okay, personally. Watch that changeover once again. Yeah, it's slightly more in line now, isn't it? There. Bottom subdial is just a running seconds on this one, which is good because anyone who has mecha quartz will know that usually they don't have a running seconds. And typically it's obscured by the hand. I'd say let's have a look at how that's hitting the markers. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Let's just look at the hands then as well. So a little bit of a slight jaggedy edge there. Could be a trick of the light as well, in fairness. But at these sort of macro levels, this is not seen by the naked eye. The loom looks fine, it's filled well, it hasn't overspilled or anything like that. That is actually hitting on the markers, isn't it? Pretty decently. So this sort of discoloration, you can see it up here as well. You know, what is that? Well, if I can try and get this into a slightly different angle and a different position. So I'm now holding the movement, and you can kind of see, if you look around the minute track, certainly down here, down by the 20 and stuff, it sort of goes all the way around the movement and back up the top again, and certainly there's discoloration around that date. And what is it? Well, at first I thought, Baltany haven't done the dial as well as I'd hoped, but I'm now thinking, let's put it back down, that it has to do something with the solar. Obviously, the light's got to penetrate the dial and pick up the solar panel, for want of a better word. Having never seen one of these, I don't even fancy taking the dial off because I don't know what it's going to be like underneath. That must be what we're seeing there. Can I see it with my eyes? Yes, I can. Certainly around that date, but not a lot. And again, once it's under the glass and it's on your wrist and it's, 18 inches away from your face, maybe not, but I'm highlighting it here. So it has to be, I'm assuming, something to do with how it gets its power from the light that it picks up. If any of you are more technical on this sort of stuff, then please leave your comments below, because I'd be genuinely interested to know how exactly that is alluding to be a solar panel, essentially. Okay, there we go. I hope you've enjoyed seeing it on the microscope. Kind of answer my own question here, really. I was just putting it back in. You can see the indices through here, and if I shone a light, I haven't got a light to shine. I can use my phone. One sec. You can see through it. So the dial is actually transparent. Makes more blooming sense, doesn't it? I should have thought about that before I started talking. And hence the reason why you can see stuff through it. I guess what we can see is actually the movement itself, isn't it? So there we go. At least you know. Okay, my final thoughts. this is another belter of a watch from Baltany. $148, it's £111, a little bit of discount. You're getting quite a lot for your money. Baltany seem to be able to do this retro military-inspired watch very, very well. They've got lots of different types of this. Yes, you could criticise that these are quite annoying. These, to operate the chronograph, you've got to unscrew them and screw them back up. Aesthetically, they're very, very pleasing. But if you want to take a quick time reading in a hurry, it's not going to be that practical. Equally, the date window, maybe that's a little bit too small. I think if you made it a lot bigger, it would upset the balance of the dial. So it just means that it's not as legible as perhaps you might like. But yeah, solid sapphire crystal AR coating, stainless steel, nice leather strap. You can't go wrong at all for that money. And I have to applaud Baltany as a result of it. I don't think I've reviewed a bad Baltany yet, other than the ones that they only make for right-handed people, that is. Just quickly, they are still presenting them in this cardboard box, little pull thing here, and you pull it out, and then you get this faux leather case thing. I'm really not a fan of this at all. The ones they used to do before, which you'll see in some of my other videos, were much better, much more hard wearing. And if you wanted to go on holiday and things like that, there was a good place to store your watch. Small criticism, I know, but worth saying. So look, if you've enjoyed this video, then please give it a like. Leave your comments below. I do read every one. Try to reply to as many as I can. Want to see my hobby of the watchmaking that you can see here? This is a working watchmaking bench that I repair mainly my own watches for other people as well. And of course, I make watch repair videos on my main channel, My Retro Watches. I'll leave a link down below for that. Go and check that out. You'll see some very interesting movements over there. I've just done a Bulova Accutron 214 space view movement, which is just insane. So hopefully I'll see you over on that channel. If I don't, I'll see you back on this one very soon. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.